The illegal migrant crisis is now a national emergency. It puts the job security of the Home Secretary Priti Patel under threat, and perhaps, if he can't turn it around fast, even the Prime Minister Boris Johnson. It undermines the security of the Conservative Party, with the possibility of a rival to the right emergency with devastating electoral consequences, just like UKIP and the Brexit Party in the past. It makes a total mockery of our legal immigration system. But most importantly, above anything else, it puts the safety of the British public at risk. And that is totally unacceptable. Over 25,000 illegals have made the journey across the Channel this year, 3 times the number who arrived last year. And the small boat crossings are not going to stop into the winter, with 4,000 arriving this month alone, as despicable people smuggling gangs continue their dangerous trade. Most of these folk come without any papers from France, meaning they immediately enter our failed asylum system. That same system, of course, allowed the Liverpool bombing Imad al-Swalmin to stay in the country illegally for 7 years before he blew himself up in a taxi outside Liverpool Women's Hospital. Conservative MP Sir Edward Lee was right when he declared the government had lost control of the crisis as anger finally starts to erupt in Westminster. This is what Sir Edward told Priti Patel.
We told the people at the referendum, us Brexiteers, that we would take back control. It's clear that in this we have lost control. If you tell the most desperate economic migrants in the world that we will provide a free border service, taxi service across the Channel, we will never deport you, we will put you up in a hotel as long as you like, is it any wonder that more and more come? This is now a national emergency. Will the Home Secretary bring in Emergency Powers Act to override the Human Rights Act if necessary and put these people in secure accommodation now? Otherwise we won't solve the problem.
He is right, of course. The government initially hoped the problem would just go away. Then it ludicrously relied on France, despite President Macron exploiting the crisis to punish post-Brexit Britain and boost its popularity at home. There is now only one solution that must be implemented at speed: offshore processing. Within 2 years, it stopped the boats getting to Australia completely. But it requires political nous, determination, and a heck of a lot of willpower. Perhaps the latest Telegraph opinion poll, showing 77% of voters who backed the Tories at the last election believe the government's approach to managing channel crossings is too soft, will finally be enough to see Boris Johnson demand action. He promised to get Brexit done, and he delivered on that. Like my GBNews colleague Nigel Farage, who will be here shortly, I have been speaking out on the migrant crisis for well over 18 months, first in The Sun and on Talk Radio, and then here on GB News and in my Mail Online column. I've done this, Nigel has done this, as the rest of the broadcast media ignored the issue, hoping it would fade into some sort of post-Brexit obscurity. How wrong they were. Now the Prime Minister needs to live up to his promise to halt illegal immigration by stopping the boats, regardless of the usual nonsense being spewed by the Westminster bubble and mainstream media. That's the way for Boris to secure his premiership.